Hey, what's going on, guys? How do you do? It's your boy Gray here, and welcome back to the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys can see right here in the background we got some Modern Warfare 2 beta footage, just some gameplay footage that I'm just probably gonna have on a loop behind me for this video. This is a video that you guys have been asking me basically almost every single day since the Modern Warfare 2 beta came out, and that is, what are my thoughts and opinions on Modern Warfare 2. So today we're gonna get to it. Before we get into everything here, I do want to say a few things right off the back, and I just want it to be prominent in the start of this video. First off, these are just my personal thoughts and opinions. You don't have to agree, you don't have to disagree. This is how I felt after playing the Modern Warfare 2 beta. The things that I'm going to say in this video, I'm not saying anything to try and hurt, disrespect, or make anybody feel a certain type of way against me, my opinions and my thoughts, my feedback. Secondly, surprisingly enough, I honest to God enjoyed my time with this beta. I genuinely liked the beta. I liked the gameplay. I liked the flow. I love the maps. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about, but that's one piece of information that I just want up front. Whatever I'm about to say, I just wanted to be known that I, honest to God, I truly enjoyed this beta. I think that we have potential to have a really great game. The reason I say that is because if you guys remember, if you were part of the channel, if you were part of the streams and stuff, when Modern Warfare 2019 beta came out, I knew from the very first hour, the first day, I knew that we were in trouble. I knew, and I did not enjoy that beta. I was very upfront about it. I did not enjoy that beta at all. And when Modern Warfare 2019 eventually came out and we put in all those hours and we played that game for an entire year, I was very vocal about how much I disliked that game. And lastly, before we get into everything here, the last thing I want to say is that I might not touch base, I might not speak on, I might not discuss or give feedback and stuff on everything here in this video. I'm gonna just talk some of my talking points that I have written down right here. And yeah, if I miss anything, it's not on purpose. It's just either I just forgot, you know, either I just forgot to talk about it, or it's just not something that I felt like I needed to speak about. All right, so here we go, man. Let's talk about some of the pros. Let's start things off positive here. So the pros from the Modern Warfare 2 beta. First off, right off the back, man, multiplayer maps. The 6v6 maps, the invasion maps, the ground war maps, which is same shit. Really enjoyed it. I thought those maps, every single map that I played, I loved. Even that museum map, which was, I know it's one of the bigger maps for 6v6. I get it. Trust me, 10v10 on that map would be ideal. But even the bigger map, museum, I found a good flow. I don't know. I just really enjoyed that map. That was a really good, fun map. Whatever the ideology or on the designs and all of that stuff is behind these multiplayer maps for Modern Warfare 2, I'm really enjoying it, and I hope that they continue being as fun and as good as the ones in the betas were. And alongside that, I gotta say, man, I really thought that the weapons were cool too. The weapons, the attachments, the gunsmith, love it. I loved it. That was great. I hope that what we saw was just a taste of what's to come. I really hope that there are more attachments, because it felt like a lot of the attachments that we could use, it felt like it was always the cons of using those attachments were just really heavy. For example, a lot of the barrels, it reduced damage range or it reduced bullet velocity. A lot of the barrels did that. It was like one barrel that didn't do that. So I hope that we get more options in that field. But the attachments, the gunsmith, the weapons that we were able to use, and the weapons that I know that we're going to be getting in the future when the game comes out, I'm looking forward to all of that. Good stuff. The score streaks that were available in this game, and the score streaks that we saw that are going to be available in the final product when the game comes out, that's looking good too, man. I really hope that that chopper gunner is just a glitch. I hope that it doesn't just sit in one spot. I hope that we can control it the way we could control it in Modern Warfare 2019. But aside from that, everything else is good stuff. Good score streaks. I dig it. The field upgrades that are available this year, I thought it was good stuff. I mean, obviously, listen, let's just get this out of the way. Dead Silence being a field upgrade. Listen, it is what it is, man. A lot of people were really upset about that, and I know we want Dead Silence to be a perk. Absolutely. Of course I want that. But I don't know. I feel like people are really upset. I think the reason I wasn't so upset about it is because I just knew it wasn't. I saw what they did with Modern Warfare 2019. It's not just about the player base anymore. It's about the business. And what was best for business was making sure that these lower skilled players kept the retention and played, you know. And the way they managed to do that is by giving lower skilled players all of the abilities and giving them every single advantage that they can have in this game. That's how they do it. So of course Dead Silence was going to be a perk. I didn't think it was. But all those field upgrades that were available to us, I mean, some of them were new and some of them were really great. I just really like the deployable, I forgot what it's called. I forgot the name of it, but it's like the deployable soldier, where it's like an inflatable soldier. I thought that was brilliant, man. You know how many times that shit caught me, where I'm like turning a corner and I see that thing and I shoot at it, and then that informs the enemy. Like, I thought that was great, man. All right, score streaks, field upgrade, weapons, maps. Let's talk about modes, the game modes. Invasion, that is such a fun mode to just relax on and just go for some kills and whatever. It's not one of those modes that you take too seriously. I really just enjoyed it. You know, you're going up against real players, but then you're also going up against bots, which are easy kills. It's just a fun mode. I know a lot of people were like pissy about that mode and talking shit about it on Twitter and stuff, and anybody who provided gameplay from that mode, it's just fun gameplay to me. I know I'm gonna be in there if that mode helps me level stuff up, and if I can complete challenges in that mode, 100% I'm going in there. Ground war mode was good. I mean, I'll be honest, the map from Invasion being the ground war map, I didn't really vibe too much off of that one. I know a lot of people really enjoyed that one. I didn't really like that one. I did love the other ground war map, the bigger one. I thought that was a great map to play ground war on. I'm hoping that they have good content when it comes to that as well. And that third person mode, oh, that was fun, man. That was a fun change of pace, something to do. Like, I could see myself going into that mode, especially to show off operator skins, especially if I get bored of like team deathmatch or ground war, like Invasion and stuff like that. If I just want something different, a different experience, I could definitely go into that third person mode. It was good. It was good stuff, man. I really enjoyed all of that. All right, we can keep going here with the pros and stuff, but let's move over to the cons and talk about some of the feedback that I have and just general opinions about the game. But I really truly enjoyed Modern Warfare 2 Beta. I thought it was fun. I had a blast on it. And before we go into the cons, right, before we talk about the cons and everything, let me just make something perfectly clear when I say this. Listen, this game is undeniably catered towards lower skilled players, and it's catered towards players who just like to hide and don't really understand the game that well. You know, I said this about Modern Warfare 2019, but in all honesty, and I don't mean to offend anybody when I say this, even though I understand that people will get offended, but the truth is, and it's just the truth here, if you really like Modern Warfare 2019, chances are, they're really high, that you're probably not that skilled at Call of Duty. You're probably a lower skilled player. You're probably a camper. You're probably a person who doesn't like to move. You don't have any value in your skills or in getting better or developing a gun skills and stuff. When I played Call of Duty, my first Call of Duty was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare on the PS3. I had to learn, you know, I had to play that game and I had to learn to get better. I had to learn to develop skills so that I can compete at a high level, and that I can learn how to run and gun, and I can hunt, and I can attack, and I can go for kills, you know? So I think my biggest thing about this game is just how the developers, I would have so much respect for the developers if they just came on and just said it straight up. I'd have so much respect, and it'd be like, okay, we understand it. You said this, we understand. Let's move on. Let's move on for our lives. All right. Developers want to advertise like, oh, every play style will be accommodated. When the truth is, no, man, you're only accommodating to the poor skilled, lower skilled, bad players, people who play this game maybe an hour a day, maybe, if even that. Definitely not catering towards the bigger fan base of Call of Duty, the people who run and gun, the people who really try to find excitement in this game and enjoy its gameplay and its gunfights and all that stuff. There's no balance. Like I said before, man, a great example. I'm going to give you guys a great example of balance. Call of Duty World War II. In that game, you had all of the stuff for camping. If you wanted to place traps, if you wanted to hide in a room, if you wanted to hide in a window or whatever, you had all of the advantages, right? You could do that if you wanted. But they also gave us aggressive players they gave us this perk. It was called Flanker. It would delay the activation of traps by like a second or two. So you can run into a building with traps and trigger the traps, but the traps wouldn't go off for a second. So you can run past it, and the people who are hiding upstairs, they would, you know, they wouldn't expect it. That was great balance. If you want to camp, sure, you can do this, but just know there's a counter, and it should be a two-way street. If you want to be aggressive, sure, you can do this, but guess what? There's a counter to that for these types of players. Let's call it what it is. Let's be honest with ourselves, okay? This game does not have any balance. The majority of the advantages lie with the lower skill players. So with that said, all right, let's get into some of the cons, some of the things I didn't like about this game, and some of the things I think that they can improve, and just general feedback. Here we go. In no particular order, the first thing that comes to mind here is the reload, the cancel, the reload cancel. I hate that. Oh my God. It's just, and it's mainly for me because I personally have such a bad habit. I could have a magazine with 50 bullets, and I could shoot one bullet, and it's just like in me, it's instinct. I just reload, and it's such a bad habit of mine, and I think that this game is going to cut that bad habit for me. I guess we'll see, but I miss the whole like reload stuff. There are certain situations where I'm fighting 3 or 4 people by myself and I have to reload, and then of course a 5th person comes around the corner, and it's just like there's nothing I can do. I have to accept the fact that I'm about to die to this person because after I killed 4 of his teammates, because I'm in the middle of a reload and I can't stop myself from reloading. Now, if I could stop myself from reloading, I could cancel the reload and I could kill that person, but I don't have that ability anymore. The mini-map thing is not a big surprise to me. I'm not really at all surprised that the mini-map is the way that it is. I'm more surprised that when creators went to play this game for the first time, I'm more surprised that they had the regular mini-map. And that, you know, for the beta, we don't have the regular minimap. Would I love the regular minimap? Absolutely. It's such a simple thing to utilize. It's such a simple tool. It's not that difficult. I don't understand why, like, they make it seem like people can't understand the minimap, right? But they have so many other things in this game that are, even to a player like me who's been playing this game for years, that confuse me. I could imagine someone who only plays this game for like less than an hour, you know, I don't know, a day. If even a day, I would say like less than an hour a week. I wish that they would bring back the regular minimap. I'm not necessarily a red dot chaser, because I don't just look at the minimap to look at the dots. I also look to see where my teammates are spawning. You know, I like to see what the map looks like, because the minimap does give you a little bit of a layout of the map. I don't know. Would it be great to have the regular minimap? Absolutely. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. These people seem to just be hard-headed when it comes to this situation. Speaking of these people being hard-headed with their decisions here, the new perk system. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Listen, I don't hate it. I don't hate the new perk system, but I did notice that when they increased the time to get the perks now, like they increased it so you get your perks faster in the second weekend, I didn't necessarily understand the reason for the timer, because I was getting like the 4 perks pretty fast. So at that point, it's just like, just let me have the perks right away. Like, what does it matter if what, you're making me wait a minute and a half so that I could get ghosts? Like, just let me get ghosts. My biggest problem with this perk system is how aggressively the opponents, the enemy players, can take advantage of players not having ghost early game. I noticed it in one game where it was like 3 people on the opposite team, and I noticed because I was reading the kill feed. I noticed that it was the same player dying, like he would kill himself. He would get the 3 kills and then he would kill himself. And I noticed it because I could always see his name, and then it was like the frag grenade, right? But what they were doing early game is that they would get the 3 or 4 kills, whatever it was, to get a UAV. They would call in the UAV, and then they would kill themselves, and they would get 3 more kills, and then would have another UAV early game. And the biggest problem with that is that there is nothing that you can do except use a launcher. That's the only defense, which, you know, if that's the case, then hey, so be it. I will carry a launcher on my back every single class setup. It'll be like Black Ops 4. That's what I was doing. Once we were able to use launchers, I had a launcher on every single class setup, and anytime the enemy players called in a UAV early game, I would blow that shit up. They gave us another option with like a field upgrade or something that would prevent us from appearing on the minimap when a UAV is in the air. If they give us something else to work with, then I'd be completely fine. I don't give a shit about this perk package. But Right now, the biggest problem with this perk package on my behalf is just how easily the enemy players can get a UAV, and not even get a UAV, because that all depends on, you know, whether or not I have good or bad teammates. But not only that, but it's just how easily they can take advantage of the UAV system. My next point here is with Dead Silence. I don't know if it was a glitch in the game. Again, I don't know, but apparently when you activate Dead Silence, there's like a ringing noise that only the enemy players could hear. You can't hear it yourself, but the enemy players could hear it. What's that about? I mean, come on now. And not only that, my other thing with Dead Silence is that the activating in this game, there's like a whole animation. This guy takes out like the little device, clicks it, and then he puts it away. Like, come on, man. The Dead Silence activation time needs to be lowered, and the kill streaks or the score streaks needs to be lowered too. That activation time too. Calling in a UAV, it's like the same shit. Just call it in, bro. Like, you don't need a whole thing. You don't need a whole crazy animation to call in your kill streaks. One more thing that was a little difficult for me to accept and for me to even like understand why they did this was the removal of enemy names. There were many times, man, when I was in a situation where I'm aiming at somebody and I'm like, I hesitate because I don't know if it's my teammate. I don't know if it's them. You know, you guys are catering towards these lower skill players, but that's something that I feel like even lower skill players would appreciate having back in the game. And some of the other things that I feel like the game can work on and improve on are obviously like respawns. Obviously that comes with time played and them getting data back and all that stuff. And hopefully they make improvements on respawns. Obviously audio. There are a lot of audios, especially footstep audio that's really, really loud. They could adjust that as well. Maybe consider giving us a ninja perk or something like that. I don't know. I know Dead Silence is there, but maybe let us have a ninja perk. I think my last point here that I'm going to talk about that I wasn't really a big fan of, that I feel like needs to be better, is the user interface. Just in general, the user interface, like just getting into a lobby, fixing your weapon classes and stuff like that. I mean, dude, like, as somebody who's been playing this game for years, like I said, I've been playing this game for years. I was confused with some of that stuff too. And for the love of God, stop catering so much to these lower skilled scumbag garbage can players who have no skills. If they suck, let them suck. I get that at the end of the day, look, Call of Duty is a business. Modern Warfare 2019 was, I think it was the highest selling Call of Duty game ever, I think. Obviously, they're not going to double down on the tactics that they took in Modern Warfare 2019. They're probably going to just see what else can we do to help advance these lower skill players, help protect these lower skill players. The truth of the matter is, in all honesty, man, and again, I don't mean to offend anybody, but the truth is, if you honestly really liked, if you can sit there and be like, yo, Modern Warfare 2019 was the greatest Call of Duty of all time, you're probably not that good of a player. I'm sorry to say that. And I don't want to offend anybody, but that's just the sad truth. And you guys are going to probably attack me. You're going to come at me, and I get it. You want to defend yourselves, even though I'm not saying anything that's not untrue. And you're probably like, oh, great, it's probably because you had no skills. It's probably because you couldn't compete. It's probably because you couldn't adapt. No, man, the truth is, in Modern Warfare 2019, I was dominant. I was. It took me like 3 or 4 months to figure it out. But I figured out how to run and gun and how to play aggressive, how to play my style of game in Modern Warfare 2019. Like, I know eventually I'm gonna figure it out in this game too. And when I do figure it out, these people, these lower skill players they're not gonna have a good time. I think the key thing that I just want to end on here is I really wish that Infinity Ward would stay true to their word and have a certain balance in this game. Balance in a Call of Duty is such a key aspect of this game. It's such a core aspect of this game. But you know, when you put all of the advantages for these lower skill players, I mean, you know, you're kind of just boxing us out, man. Anyways, man, listen, I'm gonna call it there for today's video. That is my general feedback for this game. Oh my God, you know what? I'm sorry. One more thing. The time to kill. Listen, I know Exclusive Ace made a video where he said that the time to kill was kind of average in comparison to other Call of Duties, that it wasn't even that high in comparison to other Call of Duties. Yo, Ace, I'm gonna need you to run those numbers again, my man. All right, I'm gonna need you to run those numbers, double check, triple check them, pass it over to True Game Data, pass that over after True Game Data does his thing, give it to J God, because those numbers are not adding up, my man. The time to kill seems incredibly inconsistent. There are many times where I feel like I'm putting bullets into somebody and they just sponge it, and then there's other times where I feel like I get hit with one bullet from an SMG and I just die instantly. You know, I don't even have a chance to react. So I don't know what's going on with that time to kill, man, but something is definitely off with it. All right. Well, that's it. I'm going to call it there, ladies and gentlemen. My final feedback is that I truly, genuinely enjoyed Modern Warfare 2 Beta. I'm surprised that I did, but I did. And I'm actually looking forward to this game. I think that this game has high potential. It has potential to be great. And I hope that the developers listen to the audience, man. Listen to the core players. Stop just trying to see what you can do to help and protect these lower skill players. How about us? How about us? How about the players? How about the fan base who's been with you guys for years? And I hope it's going to be a good game. I think the bundles are going to be great. I think the content in general is going to be great. The maps are going to be great. Score streaks, everything. I think it's going to be great. I think the only thing that is going to probably hurt a bit is probably going to be the gameplay, but I guess we'll see. Thank you all so much for the love and the support that you guys showed during the Modern Warfare 2 beta. We got a lot of content coming up, so be on the lookout. If you're brand new around here, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, drop a like on today's video. Any feedback, comments, concerns, questions, anything, let me know in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to reading your comments. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys got to say, and I'm going to try and get back to as many people as I can. If you guys are ever interested in any Control Freak products, you can check out their website. Link in the description below. You can use code GRAY to get 10% off your purchase. Give us a follow outside of YouTube on our social media platforms, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Give us a follow also over on our Twitch. Typically, we stream on Twitch Monday through Friday. And I'm going to call it there for today, guys. All right. Thank you so much. Till the next one. My name is Gray. Peace.